right. No responses yet, but I think Doug should still be there. He's been camping on this page for 7 days. That's hilarious, Doug.
Yeah, wow. You got a really good seat for the show, I guess.
There we go.
Perfect. Good. That's
good
to see. Excellent. Hey, everyone. Thanks for showing up. We're just going to give everyone a couple minutes to trickle in here as we see the people rising a little bit. Just give until about 10:02 here. Cool. Let people kind of trickle in. And again, we'll be recording this just so that afterwards you can watch this if you miss a bit of it. If you have to run away and get a coffee or something like that, it's totally fine. You can always check it out after the show. And also, we now have on our website our webinar series page. So if you ever want to find any of these previous webinars, head over to our website. You can find us in the top there. Under resources, I think it is. There's one for webinars, and you can check it out there. Our designers did a really good job on that. So yeah, please give it a look. Awesome. I think we're ready to start. What do you think, Alex?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Cool. Hey again, everyone. Thanks so much for coming, and welcome to our fifth webinar here in our Shogun Page Builder webinar series. Today, we're going to be working on, and showing you building pages faster with Shogun page types and snippets. We're also going to be covering content scheduling, content syncing, and page templates. So you'll get to learn lots about all of our sort of, tools that will make your page building process a lot more efficient and allow you to sort of, push out a lot of content at once. So cool. Let's just move on here. Today, our hosts are myself, Kalen, support team lead here at Shogun, and Alex, one of our customer success managers. And again, just sort of some of the stuff we're covering this week. So we got our page types, standard, blog, product, and collection. So all the different page types that you can create within Shogun. And then we're going to be covering some of those features I was talking about: snippets, templates, syncing, and content scheduling. And then at the end, we will have our Q&A so you guys can ask your questions and we can give you some answers on those. Cool. I'm just going to stop sharing this slide here so I can move over to my test environment. Cool. Okay, great. Alex, can you see that okay?
It looks very clear.
Okay, good. Good stuff. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, I'm just in my Shogun dashboard here where you're, of course, going to be when you first log into Shogun. And I'm just going to go to the top right here where I can create a page. Start off with a standard page. It's just sort of the bread and butter of your Shogun pages. And we can use this for a few different things. And we can use it in a few different ways. So we can start off by doing a blank page, which is, of course, just going to build it up with nothing on it. You can create and add your elements from scratch, or you can use one of our templates, either your pre-created templates that you'll see here, which I'll cover in a bit, or some of our templates that we have here sort of pre-built for you. If you want to learn more about how to use these templates and how to sort of make them your own, we did a webinar a few back that kind of goes into that in a lot more detail. So you can learn tons about that if you'd like. And for now, I'm just going to go ahead and choose one of these. So let's choose this template here. And I can just name this whatever I like. So let's just say I wanted to use the standard page for my home page. That's my home page. I'm going to call it home page test 2, just to make sure I'm not naming it the same name as something else. You'll see here the page path just adds in dashes instead of spaces, so it can be an actual URL. And then we have the option to go with different styles for the page. So we can go with a landing page style where there's no pre-existing elements, or we can go with our themes header and footer. So that's going to have our navigation and our footer and all that on the page already. So let's go ahead and select that. Let that load up. Awesome. So again, we have this template already ready to go so that we can make the changes to our own. And then we could use this for a different page type. So for the standard page type, good for your home pages, especially good for promotional materials, contact page, FAQ, that sort of thing. But on that topic of, say, like some kind of promotional stuff, You could use this for, say, some kind of holiday special. Maybe we got July 4th coming up in the States. You could use this as a way to sort of showcase maybe some kind of July 4th sale that you have going on. So we could make some page changes to this page. We could even add products and whatnot so that people can see those on your page. And I can just go in here and make some changes. So let's just say I wanted to rename this to be some kind of a July 4th thing. I could say July 4th special, and I could save that. And of course, you could customize this a whole lot more, so it's totally ready for your whatever kind of sale you have. And then I can use the content scheduling feature. So if I go up to the top right here with the triple dots, go into the schedule option, and then I can choose to publish this page and revert it if I wanted to. So let's say this one specifically that I just saved, I could publish for July 4th. I can set a time. Maybe I want it to be like right at the very start of the day. So it could be around midnight, July 4th. And then if I want that to end and I want to go back to how I had the page before, then I can do that as well. So I can click on revert on, and I can choose a date to revert the page on. So I could, for example, the 6th, I can select a time for that. Maybe I want it to be, in the morning sometime. And then I can revert that. And you'll see down here, you get the option to revert this version. So this is the one that's going to be currently getting published. And then this is the one I wanted to go back to. And you can always check on these versions as well. I'll show you how you can do that. You can also set it as a home page when it publishes. If it's not a page that maybe you want to change up your home page just for a little bit, then you can do this. I'm not going to do that here. And I can save changes and just remove this. And then you can see now in the top right here, it says scheduled. So this page is going to get scheduled for that date and then revert back the previous version, which you can see here, on the revert date that I set. Cool. Just an easy way to change up your pages and change it back if you need to, without having to be awake at midnight on July 4th. Maybe you want to get ready for your day and you don't want to be awake at midnight to publish it. You can just schedule it through nice and easy. Awesome. Cool. We'll move on to the next page here. So I can just create a page and go to blog post. And again, start with a blank page, user templates, use a Shogun template. Go ahead and do that. Let's choose this one here. And we'll just call this blog test 2 as well. And again, same thing with the page name and the page path. On some e-commerce platforms, you might have the option to choose a blog. So in this one, for example, I've got a couple of different blog types, news, and I have test. You might also have like products or some kind of other blog type. So you can go ahead and choose whichever one suits you best. I'm going to go ahead and just go with test. I can create the page. Great. Now we got a beautiful looking blog template up here. And again, definitely do check out that other webinar where we go into detail about how to sort of make this your own. Yeah, so we have the blog template here. We could, either again start from scratch or make some changes to a template and sort of customize it to make it our own. And once we've done that, if we want to sort of use that same, that same experience, that same blog look, so you can kind of make your branding consistent for all your different blog types, then we can save this page as a template and use it for other page types very simply as well. So I can do that here by on the top right, going to these triple dots, and then saving the template. And then you can name that template. Just template to the end there so we know it's a template. Cool. And then we'll just sort of refresh the page here. And now it's switching over to that template type. So now we're on the template. You can see that here on the top left where it says template. And we can make modifications to this if we wanted to. And then we can use this for all the different new blog types. Do keep in mind that the page type that you save it for is the type that you'd be able to use it for. So I wouldn't be able to use a blog template for a standard page or a standard page template for a blog. And product and collection pages don't have template types. So just the blog and the standard page. So now if I exit this, go back to my dashboard, and go to create a page, go for a blog post, you'll now see, so that's where these your templates pop up. So this is the one we just created, was the blog test 2 template. So now I could select this for any new blog post page that I've created. This way, it's just really easy for you to quickly, add in all of that sort of branding and consistency to your pages, nice and easily. Cool. I think that's it here for those couple of page types and
Absolutely.
those options.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kalen.
Yeah, cool. I'll pass over to Alex here.
Yeah, and just to kind of fall back on what Kalen was talking about there, with those standard pages, when you're able to, the big benefit behind being able to edit your homepage, and like create from scratch your homepage really with Shogun Page Builder, that just gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility with how you're presenting your homepage. If ever you wanted to be able to just swap out a particular section of it, or if you wanted to do a complete revamp of it, that's a lot of flexibility, and you're not having to change an entire template or an entire theme or anything like that. You get to keep that navigation menu that you like, and you're able to curate that experience on your homepage as often and as fine-tuned as you'd like. Same sort of thing with your landing pages. When you're building landing pages for products using Shogun Page Builder, it gives you the ability to use those templates so that when a customer sees an advertisement and they click on a product ad and they end up on a landing page today, they'll have a similar experience. You can keep it branded as next week or the next month or the month after that. And you could actually be making these fine-tuned tweaks to your pages, using our A/B testing, using our analytics suite to compare the performance between the different pages. And same thing goes with the blogs. The ability to use the templates to create, say, 3, 4, 5 different templates of blogs. That means that your creative team isn't spending time creating layouts. They're not spending time making sure that margins and everything looks good on different devices, because Shogun helps you make sure that all these things that you build look great and responsive across all the devices. Instead, that creative team can spend their time creating the content and just pumping out tremendous amounts of content, so that you get that authority level on those different search engines, and you get that social organic traffic coming to your site that's targeted, right? And those people are now more likely to be paying customers because they're identifying with whatever the message is that you're pumping out in that blog. And also, just to loop back around to our product boxes, you're able to put product boxes on any of these page types. So now the add to cart enables your blog post, your homepage, your landing page to be a sales tool at that point. So you're shortening the sales funnel, you're creating repeatable success, and it's just a matter of using it at that point. So I just kind of wanted to loop into that, because now we get to the product pages, and I will start screen sharing. If you stop screen sharing quick, thank you. I appreciate everybody's patience while we bounce around between our screen sharings here. Okay. Just confirming you can see my my screen.
You're good to go.
Awesome. Okay, great. So with product pages, whenever you click on create product page, here it exists. Now this is, again, depending on the type of platform, it's always going to be relative to the platform that you're on. We're doing our best to make sure that we have a consistent set of products across all platforms. It's just, there's different technicalities, different technologies and stuff like that. But if you do have a platform that enables product pages, collection pages, we'll go through that. If you're on a platform that doesn't have product pages, let's say, through Shogun Page Builder, then you can simply build a standard page. You could select one of those product templates, or you could build your own layout, copy it as a snippet, which I'll show you later on, link it to a product page that you have on your back end, and then you're essentially creating like a product page experience and then just leading it to the cart. But when you're building a product page, you click on that, you type out the product title that you want to work on. And when you're, for example, like here's red headphones, or why not red high heels? Okay. So I'll select red high heels. And with this platform, I'm getting the option to create the product page from scratch. So I completely build it out with no theme or layout and addition, or I get to contribute and add to what the theme and the layout already has built through the addition of drop zones. So I already have a couple of these built out, and I'll show you how they look over here. So with the black headphones, I'll go ahead and click on that. And with these black headphones, I'm using the layout that the theme provides. So this is how the theme says my product page should look, right? I got my product image, my title, my description, my thumbnail images here. And then what Shogun does, we provide you a drop zone above the product box that the theme builds. We provide you with a drop zone in the description box, and we provide you with a drop zone underneath. Sorry, I already had a little bit of a section here. So underneath the drop zone or the product box. Some platforms, we only have the ability to add a drop zone within the product box. And so what is very common for people to do is to just drop a section in there and then to make it full width. And when you make it full width, now you're able to, now we're talking about making a full long form kind of sales page where you're able to add. And again, like, it's not just the fact that you can do this, but it's about what you're doing with it and why you would want to do it. You're able to add more social proof, more video or image content, more anything that helps your clients get the experience that you want them to have with your product page, right? So that they can add it to cart and convert and enjoy your product and love your brand kind of thing, right? So that's how the product pages would work when you're using the pre-designed theme layout. And when you're not, I'll go back into my dashboard here. I think we're still doing good on time too. Perfect. So then we go to this white headphone option, and this one does not have a theme layout. So this is just a complete blank slate here, and I'm able to add a product field element, right? So it's already linked to my product. So now I'm able to just add product images, product titles, any of these structural elements that I want. And I'm able to build that entire product page experience from scratch, exactly how I want it to be. And as I promised a demo here of how to create a snippet. And so once you build, and by the way, you have all these tools. You've got access to all of these elements, all of these viewports, everything across all these different page types, so that you actually have a consistent experience building out your pages. But once you build out your content, you're able to select any element. And at the very bottom, we see in the breadcrumbs how it's all nested together and layered. And so now what we need to do is just decide at what level do we want to copy the content, right? So I'm going to select the section because it contains, within the section contains all of this other content, titles, headings, descriptions, images, buttons, right? And now using this little banner icon, I go ahead and click on that and I create a snippet, right? Copy that, and on any page that I go and work on in the future, that snippet is available for me to find using our cool search function here. I'm able to drag and drop it and use it across any page, anywhere. And look at that, it just saved all of the formatting, all the wording, all the imagery. It gives me a superb starting place, right? So that I don't have to redo all that hard work. So that's how the product pages work and how you'd be able to use them. And I'll go back and I'll showcase for you a collection page as well, because with our collection pages, or category pages, depending on the platform that you're on, when you edit them, we give you a drop zone above the product grid and below the product grid. So here I'll go ahead and click on the lipstick collection. I've got a whole smattering of different kinds of products in my demo store. Maybe one of these applies to your business, perhaps, right? So here's the product grid. In the page builder, it's not showing me the images. It's an API thing. But on the live page, it absolutely shows the images. But more importantly, what you have here is you have your elements. You have your drop zone elements. So here you're able to add content. You're able to add new structure, video, social proof, more product boxes if you want, link to more products, more add to carts, whatever it is you need to do to tailor that experience for your clients and your customers. And again, another drop zone at the very bottom here. All right, so I'll just show you that indeed it does show the product. Wait, you can't see my right. Okay. Indeed, it does show the product images. So I'll stop screen sharing this for a moment, and I will start demonstrating for you as well our page synchronization, because this is all fun, and we all love, you know, developing one store successfully, and perhaps you have multiple sites, right? Perhaps you have multiple websites that you sorry, thanks for your patience here, just logging in, that you want to build content on. Okay, I'm going to screen share now. 3, 2, 1. Clicking on the right buttons is hard. Okay, cool. So you can see my screen, Kaylin, of my new demo store here?
Yeah, I got you good.
Okay, super, thanks. So yeah, if you have multiple sites, say you're selling in another country or another domain name and another currency, who knows what it might be. You have a different shipping warehouse from a different location in the world, but your content is the same, right? You're selling the same products. This happens all the time. Imagine having to rebuild all of that. Well, you don't have to imagine. Previous to Shogun, that's what you had to do. You have to rebuild all your stuff over and over and over again. With Shogun Page Builder, you're able to synchronize all of these different kinds of pages. Your standard pages, your blog posts, your product pages, your collections, your snippets, right? You're able to synchronize all this stuff across multiple accounts. So you do, like, they are different licenses for each of the accounts, but in comparison to having to rebuild it all, you know, a lot of our customers find that it's time and money well spent and saved. So right now in the top right hand corner, you'll notice your login info when you're into the dashboard. This is our CEO's login here. Don't tell him I have access to his demo account. So let's keep this hush hush between us 306 people. But when you click on your login name, it shows, okay, we know that you have access to all of these different stores. And provided that they're on a plan that allows for synchronization, the sync button will be available for you. So we go ahead and click on sync. And now it's so straightforward. Like, what do you want to synchronize? The entire store? Sure, why not? Everything, if that's like your case. It doesn't have to be, though. Now you're able to select individual pages that you want to push over from the store we started off with to the destination store, and we will give you like warnings and information and context about the pages being synced over. So right now it says the destination page is not found on the other store. We'll copy this one over. Cool. Once we do that, it'll say they are synchronized, right? They're totally synced. Fantastic. If you make a change on one or the other, it'll tell you that they're out of sync at that point, that one of them needs to be updated. One of them is newer than the other. Or if you're running like an A/B test, you might, well, here's some examples, right? So page versions have diverged, right? Because it says here, a day ago, this was updated and this was updated 2 hours ago. Perfect. If you're running an A/B test, it'll tell you right now there's a test going on. We can't copy this over because there's two versions, right? There's two versions of a page happening. So we're not going to copy over that until there's a winner. Here you have your blogs that you're able to push over. If you have similar product pages as well, they're able to be copied straight over. Same thing with your snippets here. Tons of snippets. Wow, fantastic. And then if you have data collections or custom elements, those are able to be pushed over as well. And this is simply with a click of a button, you know, weeks, months saved in development time, days probably, right? Depending on your scale. And it gives you an incredible starting place on the new site, so that all you need to do is just go in, make your minor adjustments, your language adjustments, or whatever it might be for that different domain. Okay, so I think that actually covers all the cool stuff we had to show. Anything you think I forgot there, Kaylin?
No, thanks so much for demonstrating that, Alex. Yeah, I just want to clarify, like, for the content syncing, just to make sure, kind of over that a bit quick, just with the different stores, do you have to have a Shogun Page Builder subscription on each store? That's a question we get quite commonly. So you would have to be subscribed on each store. It's not just like one license gets you all of this, right? One license per store. And then also just keep in mind that you also have to have the same email across those stores as well, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't know if it was your store or someone else's to sync that content. So yeah, just make sure that you have the same email set up on both stores and that you have Shogun installed. And then you would be able to set this up just as easily as Alex demonstrated there.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. Same email for sure. Even if it's similar, we can't guess.
Yeah, and also the content sync is available on select plans. So, you know, if you're not sure if it's something that you have on your plan or something that you would like to upgrade to, do make sure to just contact our support, and you know, we'd be happy to help you get set up with that.
It's available on select plans, as in you have to select that plan, right?
You bet.
That's a joke. Okay, cool. Go to questions if we have some.
Yeah, I think we got a few questions here for sure. Cool. I'll just start off with this one here. Let's see here. So we got a first question here. Hi, any suggestions on which review app to use? Yopo versus product reviews, and will there be further customizations for these in Shogun? So a little bit off topic, but we don't mind taking some off topic questions. Cool. Yeah, Alex, what do you think?
So I recommend that you use whatever review app, you know, do your research, whatever fits best for your business, whatever you're most comfortable working with, whatever fits your company's pricing structure and this and that. And when it comes down to like integration, so we have a Yotpo and a product reviews integration built in. That's cool. If you have, say, some other third-party app that you're using for your reviews, you can always use an HTML element and use an embed code. So you're still looking at my screen here. I'm just going to go ahead and select, whoa, cool, boats, right? So demo page for code, and typing doesn't count, capitals, right? You can just use an HTML element on the right-hand side here, drag and drop it wherever you want. So say that you're doing a set of columns here, and you have your product on, you have all your product info here. If you wanted to have your reviews on the right-hand side, drag and drop HTML, right? So now you click on this little element, and it opens up a inline HTML editor. And so here we drop our HTML, and then you have your embed code, whatever that might be, for your app, for your reviews app, and then it'll populate in here. Now, keep in mind that within the editor itself, if that's reliant on JavaScript or anything like that, it might not show you in the editor 100% how it looks. But that's why you can save, you can publish, you can view live. In some instances, you could even preview the page, right? Like I just saved it on this platform. I saved it, and then I can do a preview and see if it works on there. But it'll be on your live page as well. Good question. Thank you.
Awesome. Just get that. There we go. And then, yeah, for next question, we have Haley asked a great question in the chat. If you use a template for multiple pages and make changes to the template, will it also change the pages? It's a great question. So yeah, like that actually allows us to kind of cover a couple of things. No. So the template's just sort of like a starting point, right? So similar to like if we had a pre-built template in Shogun that you could use, or if you've created your own template, that's sort of where you can start from. If you change that specific page, then it won't change like every single thing on every page. That would probably be kind of a disastrous if that happened, because then, you know, if you had made changes to 1, 2, 3, 4 different pages that were using that template, and you change the template, then it would just revert them all back to the same sort of thing, right? So you wouldn't have any differences between those different templates or those different pages. So no, and that is also the same for content syncing, like Alex was demonstrating. You know, if you have like a specific page or template that you synced over to another store, then no, like if you update it in one place, it's not going to update in the other in real time. You'd have to go in there and then make those changes afterwards, or you could just resync it, right? So you could, you know, if you've created that or changed that page in the origin store, and then you want to also change that to be the same for the destination store, you can just go right back into your syncing and then resync that. So hopefully that answers your question there.
Right. And if you're ever wanting to do, you know, global changes like with your designs and stuff, we do have our global styles that you're able to use, and it does update across all the pages. You just need to go and publish. So if you want to learn about global styles, we did a webinar on that, and we also have our help docs. And if that doesn't, suit your needs, and we would love to hear your business case for updating a template and having previous pages update with that template. Like, what's your use case for it? We'd love to hear that, because heck, that's how we make our products better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Say heck, you guys.
Sorry?
Nothing.
Okay, so we got another question here from Jeremy Roberts. Jeremy asks, when you sync a page, do the assets copy to the new site, or are the assets served from the same CDN source? In other words, if the image changed on the source, does the image update on all synced pages? Interesting.
That's an awesome question. That's a really cool question. Thank you, Jeremy. And when we're talking about assets, there's a couple of things we need to talk about. So one is the images that you upload through Shogun, right? So right now, if I go ahead and add, let's change that background image to something like, I don't know, just this. Okay, cool. So I add this image. When I save it and I publish it, actually, you know what? This one's not a great example, because I don't think you can right click on these sections. If I go ahead and do an image, okay, let's do an actual image, and then I add an image in here like this Shogun logo. Can't get in trouble for that. So publish the Shogun logo. Let's look at that CDN. You'll notice something interesting. It's a Shogun CDN. Wait, I have to share the screen. Okay, so let me go ahead and do live page and share that screen. Appreciate your patience, everybody. Okay. Yeah, so didn't push through the image for some reason.
Yeah, just give it a quick refresh. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds.
There we go. Now it is. Right, so when I go ahead and I view the image in a new tab, which again, oh man, I got to change the screen again to it. But anyways, it's a Shogun CDN is the point. And so the image asset doesn't change at that point, because it's the Shogun CDN. If you're talking about product images, well, those are definitely hosted by your platform, but we are not referencing a CDN at that point. We're making an API call. And so it would change, but it would be fine. And if you're talking about other kinds of assets, please let me know.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, that's all the questions we had for our Q&A there at the bottom, but I do see that there's a lot of other questions in the chat here. We're happy to kind of extend the webinar beyond its original time, just to answer some more questions. That's totally fine. Let me just here. I was just scrolling up to look at some of these. Let's see here.
What does outdated mean? There's a question.
Yeah, just below that. Sorry, I was don't want to miss this one. Viga asked, can you name the versions? So I like this question. It's a great question. No, the versions are just named by number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and also by date. So you can definitely like jot down a note about the date, or if you could remember which date you made changes on, then you can change it there. But the versions don't actually have specific names. I think that's a great suggestion, though. So we can definitely pass it along to our product team. If you could change the name of your versions, I think it could be very helpful. So appreciate that suggestion there, Viga. Cool. And then, yeah, Alex, you're saying, yeah, the question here, what does outdated means? Looks like Haley answered that in the chat as well. I think, just to clarify, you bet. Yeah. So it just means that you have saved changes that you haven't published yet. So you should, go in there and then you can, save it, publish it, and then you'll see it just as a published page.
Nice.
Cool. Let's just move down here. Yeah, someone asked this. That was, I think you probably answered that as we were kind of trucking along there. But Renee asked, how would it look like to manage different countries and languages? Do you just want to kind of expand on that a little bit, Alex, or do you think you kind of covered that already?
How would it look like to manage different countries and languages?
In regards to probably content syncing.
Yeah, so it would actually, that's a really great question, because I get asked this all the time. And it goes through in we don't translate. We don't do an auto translate or anything like that. So you would, if you have a different language text, you need to manually translate that. But it does give you that starting place, right? Same thing if you have images with text in the image. If it's in another language, then you have to update that asset to the appropriate one. But again, it gives you that starting place, and you don't have to rebuild it from scratch. So it doesn't do it 100% in those cases, but it could probably get you 80, 90, 95% of the way there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that especially with the content syncing, that can really save you a lot of time if you just want to, you have multiple sites that you have Shogun on, and you want to quickly copy everything over and change up the copy, then you can do so quite easily with that feature. Brian asked, when you're going to integrate judge.me? Yeah, great question. That's something we definitely have had a couple suggestions about. We definitely want to, we always pass these along to our development team, let them know that you guys are, wanting these features, and we can definitely throw that one their way again as well. Just a heads up, like how that kind of works is, we definitely have lots of users asking for specific features, and we want to make sure to push out the ones that, are either the ones that we can do quickest, so that we can, please people quickly. Sometimes a development project might take months, and that might be something we want to work on, but maybe there's another one that lots of people want as well that might be a little bit faster. So we prioritize things in that way by the amount of suggestions that we have from users, as well as the time it might take, our resources to allocate. So we appreciate your patience in that, and I'll definitely push that through to the development team so that they're aware that that's something you'd like to have. Tom asks, what about form creation? I'm not sure into which part of the webinar that was regarding, but yeah, with form creation, you can definitely do that on any of these pages with our form box element, and use that in any way, shape, or form. Maybe if you're asking that in regards to content syncing, if you sync over the page that the form is on, then that would also be synced over. Is that right, Alex?
Yeah, the form gets synced like that. All that goes. Oh wait, for page synchronization, right? I imagine it would get pushed over because it's a part of a page. That's a really fantastic question. I think we need to follow up with that.
Yeah, we might just, it'd be interesting to see if there's maybe a way to actually throw that into the syncing to see if it shows up in form collections or something like that. So yeah, we might need to look at that a bit more. But yeah, I would imagine that the page, if you had your form box on it, it would just sync over to the new site as well. And then you could just you could adjust it and modify it there if you wanted to change up the name or send it to a different email or something of that nature, right? So yeah, I'm fairly certain of that as well. Thanks, Tom. Let's see here. Chris says, is the formatting issue with BigCommerce pages ever going to be solved? Editing a Shogun page in BigCommerce, it messes up the formatting of the page. You then have to go back into Shogun, make an edit, save, and republish.
Sorry, does that mean that somebody's editing their page outside of Shogun?
No, editing a Shogun page in BigCommerce, it then messes up the formatting of the page. Yeah, so that sounds like maybe it could be a specific, page issue or a specific case issue. If you are experiencing something like that, please do reach out to our support. We can look into that. I'm confident we can, figure out a good resolution for you to make things easier for you down the road.
I think the way it works out too is once you build a page in Shogun or even import it, an existing product page into Shogun and you build it, we recommend that you just use Shogun after that to edit it and to build it after that. Because when you go into your platform's backend and you start making changes, it decouples it from what Shogun has. It breaks the version history between the two platforms, and then you do have to re-import it. Pretty sure that's.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not sure if that was the question, but it's a great point to make. Shogun is really good at taking information from the e-commerce platform, but it's not always so good at sending it back in this specific case anyways. So yeah, if you wanted to make changes, within Shogun and then, go back into your e-commerce platform and then edit your description or something else that might be, breaking the sync with the Shogun page, then it's best to just always edit that in Shogun specifically, right? You have way more controls in our platform anyways. It's not like you'd really want to go back to your commerce platform and start using that crappy description box, right? So, if you could you would want to make those changes sort of within Shogun from that point on, ideally. Cool. Let's see here. Let's move on. Sebastian asks, do you have a professional's account? The website builders can use the modify client websites without having to have multiple subscriptions a store. So we do have lots of different plans. I don't think we have any sort of plan that would have like encapsulating like 6 or 7 stores or something like that. I do believe you need a subscription for each of those. But if you have like a specific thought, or if there's something that you're looking for, definitely reach out to our support. We can speak with you, and hopefully we can come up with the best solution that's going to fit you and your needs and your business needs. Anything to add to that, Alex?
Nope. That sounds great.
Awesome.
Also, I apologize if anybody's getting a little dizzy from all my screen sharing and closing of screen sharing. I'm trying to follow up here with that. I'm gonna synchronize this demo page for code, and I'm going to see if it transfers over that form.
Cool. Thanks, dude.
That's all. And any next questions there, Caleb?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll get over to the next one here. So that was that one. Cool. Brian asks or comments, I offer 4 product variants, quantity bundles. I want to make a landing page that only offers my 2 most expensive variants to drive up my paid leads return on ad spend. When will we be able to control individual variants to display? That's an awesome question, Brian, and a great idea. So yeah, there isn't a way right now to like have, a specific, like the variant selector is pretty limited for the product box, right? That you can go in there and then just like you could in your e-commerce platform, you can choose 1 variant, 2 variant, 3 variant, 4 variant, small, medium, large. If you did want to sort of offer, your variants in a way where you can see them laid out very nicely and you can choose between them, maybe in like a 3-point column, where you have like, for example, like, for a subscription service, like a SaaS service, having one like 79, 129, 159 as like your different options. If it's just one product and it has those 3 variants, you can still do that. What you do is you would just create a product box for each specific variant. So first products in your first column, you can have your image there. You can have, whatever text. You can even change the title. So it's not just your standard product title. You can have, a heading there you can put in, and then you can do the same thing for the next column. So you can add that product box back in again. You can change the variant from the product box within the controls. And then you can change that out as well. So that way you'll have your different variants set up on the page so that people can select and see the different ones. You don't just need to use only that variant selector, which, like you said, is very limited. So hopefully that answers your question. So if that doesn't answer your question, please reach out to our support. I'm confident we can give you a really, really good solution to that so you can do exactly what you're looking for.
Cool. Thank you.
Anything to add to that, Alex, or does that sound good?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Are you all ready to go there?
Well, so what I'm doing here, okay, I synchronized my page, but it didn't, the product didn't. I put my form inside a product box, but the other demo page didn't have the same product in it. And so, it didn't work. But now I moved the form box outside of the product box, and let's see here. So the form transferred over. That's cool. Let's take a look then. If it's in the form data. Form name, my form box, sales form. Yep, there it is. Awesome. So synchronize. Okay, so this is something interesting then. The form will transfer over in a page sync if it's not in a product box that isn't on that account. So
yes, that makes sense.
Product ABC on this store, but you don't have ABC on the next store, then that's going to create issues. But if the form box is on its own, it'll send it over. Very cool.
Yeah, so keep that in mind as well when syncing your content, right? If the product doesn't exist on the other store, then it simply can't sync. That's the same for product pages as well as for product boxes, right? So that's why we're having that issue. So you see Alex was running into. He had a product box for a product that wasn't on the other store he was syncing to, so naturally it wouldn't show up. It's the same thing.
Use a new product at that point.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing if you had elements, any specific element in that product box and you didn't have it on the other store, then that would not show as well. So you got to be careful of that. But yeah, that's why that's occurred. Hopefully that makes sense. And Sebastian also asks, or can I export liquid or HTML code from any pages that I create and paste them into my client's website? Thanks. Yeah. So like if you're content syncing, absolutely. You can definitely move those elements around for sure. yeah, if you're wondering if like you can sync to your client's website, if you're not already doing that, then that would just require that you have your email on your client's website as well, and then you're on the right plans for that content syncing, and absolutely you could move those together as well. Anything to add to that, Alex?
Nope.
Cool. Let's see here. So Brian was just sort of following up that question. Also, is there a way to incorporate variant selector tiles versus the dreaded drop-down menu? Yeah. So that's sort of what I was talking about there with being able to add those product boxes in with the variants and then displaying those in that way. So hopefully that made sense. Again, go ahead and give us shoot us a message if that didn't quite make sense. How does Shogun work with other Shopify apps, especially translation apps? So I believe that we have one. We just have one synchronization right now. That's just with Weglot. We are looking to add more in the future. I know there's other ones that people would love to have, added in there, and absolutely we're aware of that. If there is one that you want to see, do let us know. We'll definitely add that into our list of development features to go for, and we can definitely go with that. But yeah, at the time being, best if you use Weglot, as it has full functionality with Shogun Page Builder. Reach support, it's not page specific. Let's see. I'm seeing some more questions here. Adrian asked, I've reached out to support in creating product variants, but the articles are still vague. How would you go about creating one?
Okay, cool. A product variant in a box or for a product page? Because the product page will be all the products, right? All the variants. So I guess it's about the product box.
Could be, yeah, if you just want to maybe show that off. Keep in mind, so like your variants would be created within your e-commerce platform, right? So you can set those up within whatever e-commerce platform you're using. And then once those are set, then they can then, be used within your product page, your product box, etc. And you can see that here with what Alex is showcasing. So those are all the different product variants.
Yeah, and these are built ahead of time in the platform. And then we use our API to see that information. So when I, choose, like here we have the two different kinds of variants, like small in color, or size and color. So we got the small cobalt, small wine, small moss, small smoke, medium in each of those colors, large, extra large, right? Of this demo product.
Yeah, and then you asked, like in an example, I have buy one or buy two options for one specific product. Yeah, so if you had the variants of buy one, buy two, right? Some people do that, and you just have the different prices associated. So you have like buy one, and it's like 13, buy two, maybe it's 20, because you're getting a little bit of a discount. That would just show up as a variant, right? And then you could add that in there. If you wanted to sort of showcase it in that way, I can just even maybe demonstrate this real quick. If I can just maybe take over here, Alex. Cool. Let me just share my screen. So that was a question a couple of you had, so I might as well just go ahead and bring that up here. So here we go. And I'll just create a standard page. Start with a blank page. Test variants. Cool. It's landing page style. Awesome. So I can just let's say we just bring up a column, and I can give 3 columns. And then I can add in product box. And let's just look for products. Here we got smartwatch. Cool. There's variants. Awesome. Very cool. So we can start just with the white one. And then I can add in. So this is where I want to add in like a product image. Cool. Product title I could do. Now, the thing with the product title is it's not going to use your variant title. So if you do want to keep the product title in, you can. But that's just it. So it's going to say smartwatch. It's not going to, mention like white. So if you wanted to have it say that, you can either just use a heading instead entirely, or I can add in maybe another piece of text so that people know. But let's just say I want to do that, so I can just go up here, grab a heading, throw that in here, and I can go like smartwatch white, and just remove this. Cool. So now it's got that unique product name, and then I can add a description. I can add whatever. Add the add to carts. Let's see here. So yeah, I just do that. And then I can do the same thing to the next section, right? So I can just duplicate this, put this up here, And then if I wanted to change the variant, I just go to change product. I can change that to, like, say, blue. Now, this is a bad example because this product that I have doesn't have specific variant images for each product. But if you did have specific variant images set within your e-commerce platform, then this would change, right? So this would be a blue watch, and then, you know, I could change it to Chrome, and that would be a Chrome watch, right? So it would have the different images. So now you have the same products, you're just creating different variants that you can sort of show off. So hopefully this would work in your example too, where you could have, you know, buy 1, buy 2, buy 3 across your page. And then same thing, they can click on the add to cart. It will add that specific variant to their cart. So you kind of have this nice sort of layout for your different variants.
Yeah. And, you know, just prior to you screen sharing, I was showing off the t-shirt because it changes the color of the shirt based on the variant that I chose. So absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. No, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that kind of answers that and shows how you can, you know, use our product boxes in multiple places to sort of create that variant experience.
Okay. So now everything's definitely, well, we got a lot more questions coming in, eh? Yeah,
we can maybe just take it like maybe 1 or 2 more and then call it quits. You want to maybe go there?
Yeah, we're pushing people's time by a lot. So thanks for everybody's patience.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're just answering questions. So yeah, I mean, you know, if you don't need to be here, definitely you can do that. But yeah, I guess for the recording, we probably don't want to have it go too long. Yeah, just to kind of finish that off, I just see Joe was asking on the same, you know, questions that we were asking about. Would the title change once you click on a different variant? Like, no, the product title, like I was just saying, it's just smartwatch, right? So it's not going to add the variant to that title. You know, it's just going to stay with that product title. But if you did want to add in, you can just use like a heading instead to sort of show that. So hopefully that answers all of those questions, guys. But yeah, we should probably call it quits here, Alex.
All right. It was a real pleasure demonstrating today for everybody. I had a fun time. Thank you, Kaylin.
Yeah, thanks as well, Alex. Thanks so much for everyone for coming, and have yourself a wonderful day.